Hey guys, what's going on? Back again with another zombies video. This one's going to go over some stuff that I solved about maybe 2 weeks ago. So it's going to touch on a lot of that, and then it's going to add on to it. So kind of like I mentioned, because I made a video similar to this before, but this is going to kind of expand on it, go into maybe some theory, maybe some more solves. So it's going to have some major spoilers. So if you're like in the Vanguard story, the Dark Aether story, you don't want to know what's going to come because it might spoil it for you. You might not have the same reaction when you see it actually maybe come true if it does. So keep in mind that if you decide to watch this all the way through, it's going to have a lot of solves. It's going to go over some stuff that again, like I said, solved 2 weeks ago, and it's going to add on to it. And it's going to make it more exciting, which I like that it looks like with all the stuff that I'm solving, it looks like Treyarch Call of Duty is kind of creating like their own little multiverse or cinematic universe or like video game universe or like zombies universe, if you want to call it, where everything's finally looking like it's starting to connect all together, which is something they probably should have started working on years ago. Maybe they did. Maybe just take some time. And business is business, so they need to have it, be prolonged in a couple games rather than just giving all the answers in one game. Kind of like a movie or a series or a TV series where some series can go on for like 10 years or 15 years and finally starts piecing stuff together. So with all that being said, the recent solve that I made, and I had a full video of it, is it looks like Richtofen and Cortifex might somehow be the same person. I don't know if Cortifex is jumping into other bodies, if that's something that he's able to do specifically, because if you look at what happened in Black Ops 3, and it is, like I said, it's stuff that's been going on for a couple games now. In Black Ops 3, in the giant intro cutscene, a Richtofen, or Primus Richtofen, comes through the portal and shoots Ultimus Richtofen, or another version of Richtofen, in the head. That's how he got the bullet mark in his forehead. Flash forward to Black Ops 4, Zombie Richtofen is at the end of DLC 4 Revelations. Not Revelations, is it Revelations? Tag Your Toten, I guess. In Tag Your Toten Black Ops 4, Zombie Richtofen shows up there again. And now we're in Vanguard and Cold War, and we see Richtofen as director. And it looks like Richtofen might be Cortifex. The name spells out the same. It's just kind of an anagram, I believe, an anagram, or no, acronym, sorry, I think. Or no, anagram words are all like jumbled together and mixed up. So if you unscramble it, it spells almost like Richtofen with an X. And Cortifex's name is Cortifex. X could be what was referenced in Black Ops 3, where it says X wants, them dead or whatever it was. There's a couple of letters or ciphers in Shadows of Evil, so that explains who X was, I guess, in a way, which is really cool. Like I said, they're tying everything together, tying up loose ends and putting all the pieces together. So now, with that being said, that Richtofen is in the Dark Aether and he might be Cortifex, it made me start thinking recently this week, like who else from Primus or Ultimus may have went into Dark Aether and got created into a Overlord, I guess I'll call it. Other than that, so it made me start thinking about IW Zombies. Is this now confirming that IW Zombies is set? I mean, this is stuff that I solved years ago also. There's a lot of Aether clues in IW Zombies. You would have to play the game, the maps, listen to some of the audio and stuff like that, and look at some of the maps and layouts, and look at Cold War. Cold War kind of like touched on that a little bit, that some of the maps are, modeled after IW maps. So it looks like this is slowly coming to truth, that back in like 2017, I believe, or 2016, actually it would be 2016, that they, I don't know if it's just an Easter egg, if they really started working together and piecing the whole cinematic / zombie universe together. Because I know in Vanguard also that the Pack-a-Punch or Dark Aether camo is green, so it made me also think of like maybe that's why it's green, because of the way that IW Zombies logo is. It's green. Maybe it's kind of hinting that we're maybe touching into some of that territory. But the real solve, or the real new Easter egg, is the fact that Mephistopheles is voiced by Nikolai it's the same voice actor. So was that Treyarch's way of setting up that down the road everybody's gonna get banished to Dark Aether and become their own like Overlord? I know the theme of Black Ops 3, maybe even Black Ops 4, is, Faust and selling your soul, um, to Mephistopheles. In trade, he takes your soul, or maybe you become him, and it's about cycles. If you look at the end of IW Zombies, that a lot of the characters and players now become, the guardians, let's call it, of the movie theater. They take the place of um, I won't say Pee Wee Herman. I'm just gonna say Pee Wee Herman because I can't remember uh, the character's name. Willard Waller from IW Zombies. So now it's kind of like Psycho. So I wonder if like Mephistopheles, they made a deal with him, Nikolai, and in turn he now became like Nikolai, or maybe they wanted eternal life. That's something big that's also in Marvel. It's like you make a deal if you want to live forever, but the deal is like maybe you'll be evil or something like that. Because, like I said, if you look at Mephistopheles, and this is from Call of Duty.fandom.com, Mephistopheles is also Willard Waller, or Willard Waller's boss, I guess, or maybe it's in Willard Waller's head, because that's the same exact story that's in Black Ops 3, where the Shadow Man and Dr. Monty, they might not even have existed. It might have just been in people's heads, and you're fighting demons in your head and stuff like that. So it could be also that Mephistopheles was the one that was controlling, kind of like how Richtofen also controls Sam and stuff like that. And maybe, like I said, it's a cycle of like, or different levels of, Richtofen is probably being controlled by Cortifex at one point. Richtofen then in turn was controlling Sam. Maybe Mephistopheles was controlling Willard Waller. And the same exact voice actor as Nikolai Belinski, Fred Tatasciore. And maybe something that was planned out a long time ago, that, hey, we're going to eventually down the road. It makes it a little bit, I don't say shameful, but a little bit sad that if that was planned, that, Lee Ross and Jason Blundell never got a chance to finish off the story. But it's pretty cool that whoever's there at Treyarch and Call of Duty is saying, hey, we're just gonna, carry on the tradition in the story, not let it just die to the side. Because that's pretty cool now that everything is starting to really piece together. Again, Richtofen somehow became Cortifex, and maybe they're saying, the voice actor for Nikolai, that maybe all of them got banished to the Dark Aether and then eventually became all the Overlords. I don't know about Gabriel. What was his name? And I forget in Cold War. I'm really bad with names, but in Cold War, the guy who became the One, like how everybody eventually evolves into these demons, and maybe like and that's the thing about the song too. Like you're running, one of Kevin Sherwood's songs, and don't ask me what the name of it is. I just remember the lyrics. I think it's "Always Running" from Buried. That you're always running. That you don't want to become like you're almost your enemy, or the thing that you least want to become. That if you look at how good everybody was, Nikolai, Takio, Tank Dempsey, and Richtofen, they're really good people. But then eventually everybody kind of gets corrupted and becomes evil in real life too, not just in video games and books and movies and stuff like that. So it's a shame that it's looking like everybody eventually became maybe somewhat evil, or used their power to become evil and stuff like that. That Nikolai eventually became Mephistopheles, and Richtofen maybe at some point became Cortifex. Or maybe Cortifex went into his body and stuff like that, or maybe he was starting to become Cortifex in Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 4. That, I mean, at first I thought maybe Cortifex went into other bodies and stuff like that. Maybe he can kind of shift bodies, kind of like what happened in Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 1 with the MPD and Sam being possessed. Or is it maybe two sides, or a different layer, that, hey, eventually too, depending what way you look at it, that everybody becomes evil at one point. I think even all those stories, even the biblical stuff, I think eventually Satan or whoever eventually was a normal person, Hades, same thing. I think we're all eventually normal person at one point, then somehow got corrupted. Stuff happens, even if it's like love or somebody gets hurt or dies that you know. So that's just some theories, like I said. You can look at it two ways. You can look at it as Richtofen was slowly becoming Quarterfex, or maybe Quarterfex. Well, I guess not really. I guess Quarterfex. I guess the idea is, and you don't want to confuse too many people, is everything in the Dark Aether got created from the regular Aether, so there's no way Quarterfex already would have been inside the Dark Aether, maybe, and maybe jumped into Richtofen's body. I guess the final answer would be that eventually everybody, the Dark Aether corrupts people. Nikolai somehow got corrupted into Mephistopheles. I think maybe down the road we'll see, you know, Tank Dempsey and Takio. Maybe we will see their bodies eventually become into these evil beings. Anyway, so that's it. Like I said, a couple solves. Wanted to touch on some more stuff than what I did before. Let me know what you think. I'll see you guys later. I think that's pretty much it, right? Yeah. All right. I'll see you guys later.